It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. I am in a mood already. It is Monday morning at 9:01 a.m. and I'm in a mood already. Welcome to what is now the most important week for Notre Dame football since every week of Notre Dame football since game 2. But you know what I mean. Notre Dame's not losing to Syracuse. They're not losing to Stanford. It's just not going to happen this year. This is it. This is it. This is the week. So I woke up all worked up. And it isn't just because I woke up to 87 inches of snow. I got problems over here, man. Last week, it was the internet. Saturday night, It was the internet Friday, which I got a story about, by the way. Saturday night, I had an issue. Then today, school's canceled. I got a 5-year-old running around upstairs. We'll hear the pitter-patter of the feet. I got somebody to watch her for a little while. Then I got to go do that. I'm having some real trouble with all the streaming and whatever. All I'm saying is, I woke up in a mood because this is it. I'm serious. You are not losing. This team's not losing to Syracuse or Stanford this year. I'm not trying to be offensive to those teams. It's just not going to happen. Your Super Bowl is this pain in the ass Pitt program and this coach that I do not like. I do not like. He's a crier. He's a complainer. He's a crybaby. He's a whiner, and I don't like him. And he don't like us. So the feeling is mutual. Welcome in to start the week. I don't like the guy. Nobody likes a whiner and a complainer and a crybaby. We're in the portal and you took my good players because we can't pay us. Shut up. Shut up. Nobody cares. So this is going to be a long, important week. And I like being in this damn position. You got everything in the world to play for. And it all comes down to Notre Dame at Pitt. You got game day there, whatever. So this is it. And I am cranked up already about it. And it's, man, when you think about how far this team has come from the 0-2 start to fight all the way back into this prime playoff position, you got to finish it off. You got to finish this off. And it isn't going to be easy. They're going to be a pain in the ass because that's why I just don't like anything about Pitt. I don't like their coach. I don't like the city. I don't even like Pitt. What is Pitt? What, Arm Pitt? I don't even like the name. There's no redeemable quality about Pitt at all. I'll say this. Every once in a while, they have a cool helmet with the cursive Pitt. There you go. I found something positive to say. That's about it, though. That's about it, though. So this is a big, important week for Notre Dame football. I do not like anything about this team. I don't like the city. I don't like the coach. I don't like any of it. I don't like him always whining and crying about something and blaming somebody for something all the time. So this is it, you guys. This is it. This is the week. I'm excited to get this going. And there's just so much on the line for what this Notre Dame team started out like. And now has the opportunity to become. You got to see this thing through. You got to see this thing through. And this is the last one. Since week 2, you were like, okay, can you win some of these games and get it to USC without having a third loss? And then it was, can you get a win over USC and get to the off week? And then you're looking at Navy Pitt as the next 1-2 punch that's tough, and then you feel like you should be in the clear unless catastrophe happens. And it's getting to me how close you are to making this full comeback and being a part of the playoff. And maybe if another team or two loses, even hosting in the playoff like you are. It's just hitting me on a Monday morning how close you are to this comeback. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Syracuse or Stanford, but Notre Dame's not losing to those teams. They're just not. They're not losing to those teams. So this is a big one, you guys. And I want to know what you guys think about it. Yeah, the whole YouTube TV thing. I don't know. Anybody else sick? Swan Dong? I'll get to that, man. I've been having problems. What a big opportunity. What a big opportunity. And fair warning if you got, here we go. Here we go. Fair warning, if y'all are planning on attending this week's game, Pitt fans are brutal, will say a ton of inappropriate things. I'll never step foot in that stadium for Pitt ND ever again. Just, there's no redeemable qualities. That's the issue. There's just not. There's no redeemable qualities. They're just a pain in the ass. They have a coach that represents that. He's a pain in the ass. There's nothing to like. And this guy hates us, and I don't like him, but he hates Notre Dame. He takes a shot at Notre Dame whenever he can. Whenever he gets a moment, he takes a shot at Notre Dame about the conference thing, or we were tampering because he loses a guy in the portal, whatever it is. You got to shut this guy up. You got to shut this guy up. So here's the deal. We already got a good handful of you guys lined up to speak. So let me get through what my introduction, get through what I want to go over. And then we'll bring it to you guys and we'll see what you guys think. Okay. This is it. This is the Super Bowl, man. It's Notre Dame Pitt. And I sincerely think if Notre Dame gets this win, you locked up a playoff spot, and then you're going to see how far up you can move. I'm telling you, this team is not losing to Syracuse on senior day and Stanford. You're just not. So this is it. And so it's a big one, but I woke up in a rare mood, and maybe it was because I looked outside and I saw all that snow. I don't know. As always, you can find a program on YouTube. As always, you can find a program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it. If you don't want to see my silly face, nobody in the world is going to blame you for that. Who wants to see my face? You want to see my face? Who said that? Notre Dame on SI. You can read all about it. I got an article for you every single day. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Can't wait. The unique film review that comes with the Navy game. I'm really excited to see Jared, Mike, and Tim break down this film on Patreon this week and get into a Raw tonight and looking towards Pitt on this Raw and what might be coming down the road for Notre Dame. So link in the description, join the Patreon if you haven't yet. Hopefully we're just about starting another wild, long kind of journey here. If you catch my drift, but it all depends on what you do in Pitt. That's what it all comes down to. So I don't know. It is. Did you see Georgia use our fake punt play that we did on them? Yeah, I did. Hey, that's good coaching. You get burnt by something, you steal it and use it yourself. That's good. And then, did you guys see USC got in trouble? They did a fake punt and they had the guy wearing a different jersey and then they got away with it. But then now they're saying that that's illegal and they shouldn't have been able to get away from it. But regarding Pitt.
If you have hate in your heart, let it out. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Let it out. And if you're on hold and you're waiting.
Show us your face. We want to see your face.
Who said that? You want to see my face?
Come on, brother.
Who said that? You won't see my face? And ignore all the distractions this week from the media.
Don't let the media tell you how to think and feel.
Don't let them do it. All you got to do is win this game, damn it. You don't have to do nothing else. Win this game. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what they pump up Pitt on game day. I don't care about any of it. Get this win. I'm in a rare form this week. It's all on the line, baby. It's all on the line. Okay, so here's the deal. Let's get this going. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air, all of you. Thanks for hanging with me. We had a great show yesterday. Usually that's Tim and Mike's spot, so they have a show together, and me and Mike aren't together to save that blend for Raw. Tim had stuff going on. I jumped in there. Great show, good crowd. Really appreciate everybody being there. But I got to tell you, Saturday night, I was struggling, you guys. I had to cut the show a little short. I am sorry. Renee, I think he wanted to get on. He was on mute. He was one of the last ones. I didn't get him on. I feel bad about that. As that storm front was moving, that cold front with all that weather was making its way from Illinois across to South Bend Saturday afternoon and evening, I could feel my head imploding. I felt like I was on that submarine that went to the Titanic and it like imploded. That's what my head felt like as that storm went by, right? And by the time the post-game show came, I had the most piercing migraine. Looking at the bright lights and everything on the screen, it was just a piercing headache. And I tried to make it through an hour and a half, and that's about all I could do. I just had a pounding migraine, still had to write articles. Thank you for hanging with me. Then here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, too. Do you guys remember Friday when my internet was out and I couldn't do the show? And I said, well, I'm not going to be able to do the show. Nobody has any internet. I'm going to go to the gym and work out. I go to the gym. They have no internet, no TVs, no music, no nothing. Everybody and every business I know around this town had no internet and no cable, whatever, Xfinity, whatever. Bro, I'm thinking we got a storm over the night. It cut the wire. Something fell, whatever. Bro, domestic terrorism. They ended up coming out and saying somebody cut all those internet lines on purpose. What are you trying to mess me up for? It was intentional. Somebody went in there with some cutters and cut all the internets. You're on my crap list, right up there with Narduzzi. I couldn't believe it. Bro, who is sitting there like, you know what I'm going to do to this whole town? I have nothing going for me in my life. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some bolt cutters and go cut the wires so John can't yell on the internet about football. You kidding me? Who does that? Who does that? Somebody was out to get me. I think it was against me personally. And the whole town, everybody's out. They did it on purpose. The wires were cut. Who does that? Who does that? I don't understand. Brian Kelly, by the way, did you see callers? We're coming to you. Let me do a check. All right. We got a handful right now. That's a good start. I'm going to put the link here. And we'll get this thing going. So everybody on hold's going to be on the air. And so I can't believe somebody did it on purpose. WPP disguised as a cable guy. WPP wouldn't cut my internet. That guy has more class than that. He would never cut my internet. That would never happen ever. John, just get Starlink. I don't even know what that means. Is that some satellite that floats around in the stars and it gives me instant 4K internet or something? What is? I don't even understand. Is that some Elon thing? What does he shoot you to Mars and then you have perfect Wi-Fi or what? I hope I'm dead by the time all this stuff happens where AI has every job and everybody's a robot and everything does everything. I just hope I'm dead. And at this pace, I probably will be. Man, I love this show. I love this show. But yeah, man, WPP would never do that. He wants to see what we're going to say next here. He wants to see what we're going to do. AI John Kennedy would be a trip. Yeah, one of these days, I'm not going to have to yell. I'm just going to program. Make AI John yell a lot and get really, really mad about everything. And then I just, sit there and drink a coffee and watch my robot do the show or what? I don't know. I don't think I'm built for what's coming in this world. I really don't. I really don't. Yeah, that's the other thing, you guys. There was some wild Saturday night. There were some wild chats in here from some accounts I've never seen before. And they were like perverted, not like the way we are joking with our one-liners. They were legitimately perverted chats that were across the line. I don't know if it was bots or some weirdo, but there was some weird stuff in here Saturday night. Whoa. Anybody remember that? The Brent Musburger when he said, whoa.
What?
Whoa. What?
What?
Whoa. Starlink.
What the hell is even that?
Never heard of it. Never heard of it at all. Starlink. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, perverts. Omar, not even like you. You're like, seriously, it was some weird stuff, man. It was some weird stuff. Okay. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I'm going to get Swandong as the reference. I am going to. Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
And if you think Narduzzi is normal.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
Just asking. Okay, yeah, habitual line steppers. That's a good one. I'm going to get that next. All right, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys where you want to go today. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. If you want to talk about Notre Dame Navy, God bless you. Feel free. If you want another day to enjoy that win and soak it in, and you want love to start getting a Heisman, unity. It gets me every time. He does unity, and he does this. He said, and that ring was imprinted in that black head of his for at least a week. Unity. You got me with that one. Unity. And the funniest thing about all this is the people have no idea what I'm referencing. It makes it so much funnier for everybody who does get it. Like the people that may be too young and were like 5 when that came out when I was in college. They're like, what are you talking? Unity. Hold my drink. Oh my God, that's funny. Omar says, don't do drugs, kids.
Drugs and alcohol.
Oh, I love these sound drops so much. Okay, let me get back on track, damn it. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. If you want to talk Navy, God bless you. If you want to find things we could pull from Navy as momentum heading into this Pitt game, let's do it. Like that's the thing. If you want to tie some of the successes and what Notre Dame did in the Navy game and build it into a ramp of momentum heading into Pitt, I'm right there with you. I love that idea. Come up with some things that you like, that you saw here, that we could ride that momentum. Listen, callers, I'm coming to you. So you are such a fool. Well, you're damn right, Angela, and that's why you love me. Yeah, I'd be boring otherwise. So here's the thing. Sometimes when you play Navy, you're just happy to get a win, get out of there without cracked ACLs. I know that's going down because they can't chop the way they used to. But some of those years, it was like, just get out of the Navy game with the win. That's all you could take from it. Try and not get injured, and we move on. This ball game gave you a lot more than that. This ball game really did give you a springboard of momentum heading into this Pitt game. It's more than I thought you might get out of this game. You left with some real momentum here and some things you could take from it. How about this? 7 for 7 on extra points. Penalized 0 times, first time since 97. How about that? Yeah, Brendan says, get ready for 10 plus penalties from the ACC refs. Yeah, the deal is, if it's going to be like that, you got to find a way to get ahead by enough that they can't screw you out of this. That's the only option. If you're going to end up in a dynamic like that, and you think, and I don't know whether that's overly conspiratorial or not, but if you're going to end up in a dynamic, anything like that, you got to get up by enough that they call whatever, and it isn't going to make you lose the game. That's your only option. That's your only option. Remember Jimmy Johnson, what he said in 88 to his guys? And what did he say? If you go to South Bend, you can't leave it in the ref's hands, like that kind of thing. That's really what I'm talking about here. So if you guys want to talk about Navy, God bless you. But if you want to go ahead and turn this thing to Pitt, I'm here for that. It's a Pitt kind of week. So if you want to turn it into that already, I'm totally fine with it. Okay, so you have game day at Pitt. It'll be probably the only one that I'm going to watch all year. I don't watch that show. It cranks up my anxiety. I get frustrated. I don't need it. I don't watch pregame. I turn it on at 11:01 when the 11 o'clock game start. I don't need game day, okay? But I might have to watch this one if it's going to involve Notre Dame and all that. Here's my question for you guys. Here's my question. Do you like this game at noon? Or do you wish it was a night game? I could see this both ways. One is, go ahead and get it started early in the day. Don't give them 9 hours to drink and do all that. Get it started, get it out of the way. Pitt has a wild crowd, but this is not, Penn State on the road. This is not Texas A&M on the road. I don't care how loud they're going to be. That should not be a factor. The building isn't big enough. This is not a whiteout at Penn State before they lost 90 games in a row. This is not that. So a part of me likes the idea that they're not going to drink for 10 hours and you could just get this game started. What did the Texas Tech coach say? Couple people have written about that. What did he say? I didn't see it. What does that guy have to say about anything? I don't understand. They just come out of nowhere. Oh, we decided one oil guy that has a well that's shooting oil out of his backyard is going to buy all the greatest players, and then we're going to be awesome. Good for you, bro. Good for you. They gambled on that. They got a bunch of oil money. They got a bunch of players in the portal, and they're beating the hell out of a conference that nobody's sure exactly how good it is. Awesome. Good for you. At least you shut up, BYU. He complained about independence. Well, I have news for you. Any team could be independent. This is not a Notre Dame specific thing. Okay? That's what my response from now on about independence. If you think it's that easy of a road and it's that easy to do and that big of an advantage, why don't you write your administrators and tell them you want your team to be independent? Get your own TV deal, create your own schedule, fund yourself, bet on yourself. You're going to make the playoff and get the 20 million and whatever. Do it all yourself if you think it's that easy. And if you can't do that, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Anybody could be independent. That ain't a Notre Dame thing. So good for them, man. One guy with a bunch of oil coming out of his backyard funded the whole team, and now you're running through that conference. Whatever. I'm just kind of glad that BYU got shut up for a minute. I was sick of those people running their mouths too, acting like they're somebody. Direct quote. I have a lot of respect for BYU entering a conference and not playing an independent schedule like other people. You already know who that is. Okay. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Go ahead and make the playoff. Just, you're not taking our spot. Go for it. Whatever, man. Anytime Notre Dame becomes any sort of threat, even minimally, they all come out of the woodwork. Couple super chats, then we'll go to your stuff. Okay, we'll go to you. Momentum against Navy, John. Just count it as a disciplined win and move on. Good win. Notre Dame took advantage of every weakness, size in the trenches, and field height. Do it again and again. Yeah. Hey, I'm allowed to take momentum out of the last game if we played well. If you scuffled through and barely got by, it'd be a different story. But I think there are some things you could take momentum-wise into this next game. So, whatever, man. Yeah, BYU took the place of Miami as my most hated team. Dude, I don't understand. They just came out of nowhere and started running their mouths on Twitter all over about Notre Dame. Just, we want Notre Dame. You're scared to come to our place, bro. Nobody's scared to go play in that high school stadium. Nobody in the world is scared to go play in that building. No one ever. So I'm glad these people got shut up. You couldn't even barely score a point in your biggest game of the year. Shut up, go away, and soak yourself. So I don't like these people, damn it. I don't like these people. Man, everybody hates us, bro. Good. The only time people come out of the woodwork this hard against Notre Dame is the second Notre Dame becomes a threat. And I love it. So let them do it. I take my shots on Twitter and dance around what I want to hit and how I want to hit it. You know what I've been getting after the BYU guy? There's a few of the big BYU accounts running their mouths. This really pisses them off. Whatever they say, I just respond with, you don't matter. It makes them so mad. Whatever they're going off on Notre Dame and this, I just respond, you don't matter. And then they say something back and I just remind them, you don't matter. BYU doesn't matter. So I love it. It pisses them off so much. Okay, super chats. Then we're going to your calls. $10 holler, Pilney. Pitt beat an undefeated Clemson at Clemson in late 2016, and then Clemson ran the table and won the title. We don't have that wiggle room. Yeah, 100%. This is the Super Bowl. If you lose to Pitt, the season is over. This is it. Rodney, I am nervous about Pitt. $2 holler. What did I see up there? Notre Dame is Notre Dame a 10.5, 11-point favorite? Is that for real? Donnie White, $50 holler. Thanks, Donnie. I didn't see you on the Saturday night show. It's good. Thanks for hitting me back up, man. Donnie's always good for them $50 hollers, man. Look at this, coach. I'm an ND fan in Utah, and you're right. Only recently they've been chirping a whole lot. BYU got rocked. They're silent out. Exactly. They just came out of the woodwork with that first playoff bracket that is going to change, that had us matched up with them. They came out of the woodwork and they were running their mouths, and I just couldn't handle it. So I was kind of glad to see them get humble, but now the other coach is running his mouth, so I don't like them either. I don't like anybody. How about that? I don't like anybody. So how about that?
If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
I don't like anybody this week. It's all about us, baby. It's all about us. Oh, boy. Pat, let's get it started. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Oh God. Yeah. So here's my outside of the weather sucking for the Navy game. My daughter loved it, by the way. I took my 12-year-old. She absolutely loved the snow, watching a football game. She's like, Dad, I want to only go to cold weather games. So I was very proud of her. Not one complaint. She was just having a blast, and I'm Notre Dame blowing Navy out definitely helped. So it was a great time, great atmosphere in the stadium. Look, I have the same response to a win over. Okay, guys, the background. All right, you guys are going nuts with the background. I am currently remodeling a bathroom. I have a bunch of crap behind me because of that bathroom. So I only blurring the screen because I got drywall, I got a vanity, I got plumbing components. That's the only reason I'm blurring it. I promise when this bathroom gets done, I will take the blur. Show us your bathroom.
Show us your bathroom. We want to see your toilet. I didn't think you blurred it out. I just thought that LSD I put in my coffee started to kick in. I thought the colors were blending.
Yeah, so that's all it is. I promise when this bathroom is done and all this crap is out of my office, I will take the blur back down. Like, you can't even, there's so much stuff piled up, you can't even see my Notre Dame lamp. So for those of you that remember when I used to do the show regularly, there's that Notre Dame lamp right over my shoulder. You can't even see that right now. So that's all it is. That's all it is. All right. Navy. I always have the same response to Navy as I normally do. After Navy is over, after you beat Navy, you forget about Navy.
Yeah.
You can't. Offensively, you can look at film and say, this needs to change, this needs to change for sure. But defensively, it's in a completely different style. And I don't want to hear they try to throw the ball more. Did that look like a team that could throw the football? I know their quarterback was out, but it didn't look to me like a team that could throw the football. Navy is still a pure running option team. The defense did what they needed to do, and that was it. I mean, it was a great game. It was fun atmosphere to be at. I might go to Syracuse now. I don't know. I do know I texted Phil last night. I said, damn, Phil, when I asked you about going to Pitt 3 months ago or 2 months ago, whatever it was, tickets were $70.
Yeah.
We could have bought them and sold them and doubled our money because they're up there now. They're like $130, $140 now for the Pitt game. So, but no, I will not be at the Pitt game. So everyone, rest easy. As far as the Texas Tech coach, like, who cares now? Like, isn't it getting old? It's just old and tiresome. Every year is the same. You hear the same thing, and it's just like when you get a troll to come in the chat and say Rudy was offsides. Like,
it's the same thing. There's never anything creative.
Like, can these guys just beat Notre Dame? That's all you got to do. If our independent schedule makes it so easy, we shouldn't be that good of a team, so it should be easy to beat us. And look, the guy who did it last year the most was James Franklin, and he doesn't even have a job anymore, Yeah. So whatever. I don't care about these guys. I mean, Texas Tech's strength of schedule is like 15 spots behind Notre Dame's. So, like, I don't know where these guys come from with this stuff.
They just come out of the woodwork, man. They come out of the woodwork.
You know what I think it is, John? Fine. I think it's for a sound, like, Texas Tech is not a program that gets mainstream coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Even with all their oil money, they don't get mainstream coverage. So it's a soundbite because he knows if you can put Notre Dame in your soundbite, you're going to get pressed because everyone's like, oh, he took a shot at, they took a shot at Notre Dame's independence. The media runs with that garbage. Yeah. So it is, it is what it is. I don't care. Those guys are tiresome.
Hey, let me ask you this, Pat. Can you go over what you said about what Gameday reaffirms? When you texted me that, it made sense about you saying Gameday going to this game reaffirms, kind of makes it a big game, and it really doesn't matter.
How it doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was texting a lot of people last night. So Oklahoma, Alabama is Saturday as well?
Is
the
that
biggest?
this week or the next week? I don't even know. I'm so wrapped up in our game.
Yeah. So, well, regardless, that doesn't matter. As far ESPN again is doing, it's doing Notre Dame a favor. It is saying that this is the biggest game of the week. It's the biggest game of the week, and so it doesn't matter if Notre Dame wins by 1 point
Yeah.
or if Notre Dame wins by 25 points. It's going to be looked at as Notre Dame had a tough opponent. I mean, it's such a tough opponent that it had to be to focus on game day. So if Notre Dame wins by 1 point or if they win by 25 points, it doesn't matter. It's a win. It's a win against a ranked team by the playoff. So this is a game you just get the victory.
Yeah.
From a personal standpoint, and Narduzzi, yeah, I'd love to pummel that guy. He's he's my new Brian Kelly. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day what this game looks like. It just matters that you get the W. That's it. And if you get the W, you another ACC team. We already know that the ACC just got blown out of the water. Louisville and Virginia both losing. This will eliminate Pitt. So the ACC is going to be eliminated from it. Miami might be back in play. So I think this is just a win it and get out game. But I do like the idea of just giving it to Narduzzi. Because
are you surprised at all by that line being double digits in Notre Dame's favor already? What did I see? 10.5, 11, 11
is it that high?
Are you surprised by that?
I'm not surprised by it. I do think Notre Dame is better. But I still stand by my point. I don't think Notre Dame is good enough right now. They haven't shown me that they are good enough to go deep into the playoffs, but I do think Notre Dame is better than Pitt. But you're at Pitt, it's going to be a road game. It's noon. It's a noon game.
Yep.
See, I don't like that. We don't play a lot of noon games, but we'll just have to play it out and see. I don't know a ton about Pitt. I haven't, outside of Narduzzi being a jerk. I haven't really looked into the.
Here's what I think is interesting. The 2 games they lost, they were winning both of them by double digits late in the game, and they blew the games. They feel like they should be undefeated. Both those games they lost, they're winning by double digits late. They blew it. They're mad about it.
They lose
had a quarterback switch, and they found the right guy now, and they have momentum. And they're coming off a bye, so they're going to be ready, man. And Notre Dame's going to match the moment. People are afraid that Notre Dame's going to sleepwalk or whatever. You don't sleepwalk when you know what's on the line. I don't have that worry for a 12 o'clock game when you have what you have on the line. I do not worry about that. Notre Dame's going to come ready. They know what this means. They're going to be ready. I'm sure of it.
Look, what we know about Marcus Freeman teams at this point is he obviously Freeman had a lot of learning to do. The Stanford loss to Pitt, or not the Stanford loss, the NIU loss. He had a lot learning to do, but now we're starting to see with his learnings is that he gets his football team ready to play. So I'm not worried about whether or not they're ready to play. I don't like that time of day because it's just your schedule is your schedule is completely different. And everyone for the Arkansas game being at noon. I was at the Arkansas game. I went down there with a buddy. That was a bad football team where the fans were leaving before the first quarter ended. It was just a bad. I mean, I was sitting in my section by myself. I went over to some Arkansas fans and started talking to them. And because my buddy just like, I'm going to go walk around this place and buy beer and stuff. So he was just roaming the stadium, and I went and found some Arkansas guys, and I started a Fire Pittman chant with them. So, I mean, there was that game was empty in the second half. So it was,
the next day, the Sunday, I was looking at the YouTube coverage from their end, and I was in their chat, and those guys weren't even mad. They were like, "Oh, a Notre Dame guy's in here. Thank you so much for blowing us out so bad. They had to fire the coach." They were like, "You did us the best favor ever. Thank you for blowing us out because now there's no doubt."
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. I don't understand when people always nitpick comments and try to turn them into something else. Yes, I said this is going to Uncle Junior Soprano.
Yeah.
Yes, I said this is kind of like a rebuilding year for Notre Dame. I don't think this is as good as a football team as it was last year. And I just said 30 seconds ago, I don't think this is a team good enough to make a run deep into the playoffs. I do think they're better than Pitt. But my point of also when I said this is a rebuilding year was it's not a rebuilding year if where it was Brian Kelly and you go 8-4.
Yeah.
This is a rebuilding year where you can still make the playoffs.
That's
And
the
that's a
key.
testament to this coach.
That's the key. You had the defensive coordinator change, the first year starting quarterback. You had and
And
then
you lost all your top tier defensive players.
Yes. And so that is where my mind is too, is if you're going to have a retooling year with all those changes.
Maybe that's a better word. Retooling.
Yeah, you can't say rebuild, reload, or whatever, but like if you're retooling and you're still at playoff level, that is a sign of where the baseline is risen in this program, that you could do all that and your level is still there. That's a healthy sign.
I'm not, absolutely. That's my point. Like, this is, that's why I am so on this team. Like I'm so onto this program and what is happening, because when we went through this with the prior coach, rebuild was we were going to the Camping Bowl.
Yeah.
And granted, there wasn't a 12-team playoff back then, but I don't think that guy could have even made that. This guy is going to get us into that. He's going to get us into this playoff with not as good of a team as he had last year. And he doesn't just fix his team through the portal. He does it through recruits. He does it the right way, and he keeps them competitive. And so I just think it's if you had last year's defense with this year's offense, I would have taken this team over. I would have loved to watch that Ohio State game again. I would have absolutely loved it. The offensive line is I would have taken last year's offensive line, especially with Jagasaw playing. But I would have loved to watch that football game, last year's defense, this year's offense, and see how that game played out.
So,
but I'm high on the program. I'm super high on the program. I am not as confident in this specific team, but everything from what I see is trending in the right direction. And so, I'm happy for them. And I don't care where you fall in the rankings, Andrew. I care where you fall in the playoff, where you fall in the ranking as far as the playoff is concerned. I don't care if you get in at 12. I don't care if you get in at 1. I just want you to get in, and then we go from there.
Yeah, it's man, but this is a big week. I'm excited about it. There's going to be a lot of hype. I kind of like get this game out of the way in the day. You're going to figure out what you got, and we're going to figure it out. This is going to be an exciting week because this is a big one. You got to get it. Anything else, Pat? Thanks.
No, it's good. Have a good show, Johnny. Have a good week.
Get out there.
I don't know. How much snow did you get?
A lot, dude. Too much.
Really?
A lot. Yes. A lot. 6 inches at least.
I got a dusting. And
we got a lot.
I'm 40 minutes from you.
Yeah, we got
a
lot.
I drove through Kankakee last night. I came right down 17 last night. I didn't.
We got a lot.
Wow. I just got a dusting. I mean, it'll be gone by probably noon.
Yeah, it'll heat up.
Hold on. Let me see what Ken said. What did Ken say? You are trying to play both sides because if they lose, you will say they are rebuilding. But if they win, you'll say they're rebuilding, but not with Kelly. That's not what I mean. You can call it that, Ken. I'm not trying to play. I think this is a team that's good enough to get to the playoffs. I don't think it's a team good enough to beat Ohio State. That's my only point.
The key with it
all it's not. I'm not trying to play both sides of the fence here. I'm trying to just call it like I see it. It's a team good enough to get to the playoffs. It's not a team good enough to win a championship. That's how I see it.
Once you get in the playoffs, you can wipe the slate clean, and then you give it all you got, and you got those two backs, and you see what happens, and anything can happen. You got to be in it to win it. Like,
I don't get
in it.
Why does everything have to be either? It's got to be it's got to be X or it's got to be Y. Like it's either a terrible football team or it's the best football team in the country. Why can't I live in the middle? Because that's where the team is at.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. And again, I'm not saying that they can't get better. They are getting better every week. I don't know if they have enough time in the schedule. Andrew, okay, fine. Wait, maybe rebuild is a bad word. It's a retooling, whatever. You have a new defensive coordinator. You have new play. You have to replace your best players on defense. Your offensive line it had to replace a lot of guys. You have transfers in at the wide receiver room who actually are the wide receiver room seems pretty fixed to me at this point. It's not as good as last year, but it's good enough to contend. That's my only point. That's all I'm saying. People want to attack that. So either you think Notre Dame is garbage and they don't belong, or you think Notre Dame is the best team in the country. And guess what? If you think Notre Dame is the best team in the country, you're probably going to be really disappointed when we get to December.
Man, I just want to win this football game. Keep this thing alive. Run it out and see what happens. Let's see what Love and Price could do in the playoffs. Get a little healthier. Like be able to throw the ball, test defenses in a different way in the playoff. I just need it. So do what you got to do to win this ball game and get in there. It is
one last thing. I can do whatever I want, buddy. You can't say what I can and cannot do. So whatever. Whatever.
It's how it is, man. Whatever you do, how it is. Whatever you do, it's gonna be. And you're a lightning rod.
I know. It don't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Half the chat's gonna say I suck. The other half the chat's gonna support me. It doesn't matter what anyone is saying. It's all I know is that they're on their way. They have nothing stopping them but themselves from a playoff appearance.
It's going to be an exciting week. I'm glad Notre Dame's in this position where this game matters this much. Pat, thanks for joining me on a Monday, buddy.
Later, bro. Bye.
Go do some work or something, or get your go do. We can always count on her. Oh, that's good. That's funny. Did he exit out himself? I didn't even exit him. All right, couple chats, and then we'll go right back to the next people. Look at this. A $2 holler from the skater. The haters are desperate. Let's piss them off more. Look at this. Rick James, Unity. I don't know who did that and changed their name to it. Fix your bathroom, Pat. Andrew Gilmer, there's no such thing as a rebuilding year, retooling year with the portal. Why isn't Ohio State retooling? Andrew's always, it doesn't matter what you say. Andrew's going to go the other way on you. It doesn't matter what you say. How about this for an answer? They recruit at an elite level every single year without fail and develop every position into the NFL every year and rinse and repeat. And Notre Dame's not at that level yet. There, is that clear enough for you? It's just whatever you say, there's always an angle. There's always an angle. Always. It doesn't matter. So, Andrew, you were ripping Notre Dame for the BC performance. You were ripping Freeman for that performance. Are you at least going to credit them for the Navy performance? Or does that not count because it's just Navy now and we move on? If you're going to do this, be fair, because you were in here ripping Freeman and ripping the team after BC. I didn't see you in here giving them credit for doing what they needed to do. So I'm just asking that we be fair on that. But it's just Notre Dame's not at the level Ohio State is. How about that as an answer? Notre Dame's not at the level of consistency and elite that Ohio State has been at. Is that not the right answer? You don't have to like it. Then the next thing Andrew's going to say is, well, why not? If you're that good and Freeman's so good, why aren't you recruiting like Ohio State? I'm just telling you, maybe that's the answer. They're at an elite level, and you're not there yet. That's as honest as I could be. It's as honest as I could be. Liam, welcome to the show. Good morning, brother.
Johnny, how are you? I had to make sure my bathroom curtain isn't in the background this time.
Yep. You know what, man? I am fired up today. I'm excited. This is a big week for Notre Dame football, and I'm really excited. Andrew, we're just that pesky rebuilding team. Andrew, you try too hard to go against every single thing everyone says just for the point of being the one outlier every single time. There's no making you happy. Nothing's good enough. It's a little exhausting sometimes, man. It doesn't matter what the angle is. Andrew's going to go the other side just to be the guy on the other side. It's never enough Freeman sucked last week. The team sucked. It was a Freeman special that they almost blew it. And now Notre Dame had a good game, and it's like we don't get credit for that. We're just going to move on to the next thing. Though your whole thing of just going the other way just to go the other way, I get it. Everybody gets that that's your thing, man. But it's just like, I don't ever know exactly where you're at, because every single time you have an angle, you just jump to the other side of the road just to do it. I just don't know. I don't know where you're at, because it's always on the other side. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Sorry. What's up?
I hope not talking to me. You know, I hate to agree with Andrew a little bit. I know that he might have the history of being a contrarian, but I think that maybe if we don't agree with him, we should always keep in mind that the standard is here. So if Ohio State is the ones developing players and having players going to the NFL, that's what we should aspire to. I think that perhaps saying that this is a rebuilding year or a retooling year, that sets the bar lower. But this is Notre Dame. Notre Dame should have higher expectations and standards. Whether it's realistic or not, we can settle that in the offseason. But the standard needs to be high at all times for this university.
Yeah, it's I think that's fair. But I get what Andrew's saying about like you don't get a rebuilding year or whatever. But like the fact is Notre Dame did have to replace all of the key guys on that defense.
John,
you did have to replace your quarterback and have a brand new starter. But like, so my question is, what do you do with those facts?
well, John,
do you just expect all those pieces to be like really good right away and you just keep it like, because I get what Andrew's saying and I get what you're saying, but the fact is you did lose a lot of key pieces off that team and add some new moving parts. So how do you gauge that?
John, you're right? This is one of those difficult arguments where no one's going to admit that the other person is necessarily telling the truth.
Like, I get it. Do you get where I'm at? I get what you're saying, but the facts are you did have to replace all that. You do have a starter that's only 8 games in or whatever at quarterback. Like, so what do you just say those pieces need to be elite right away because that's the standard and ignore those changes? Like, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm genuinely struggling to figure out how I'm supposed to analyze that part of it. If the answer is they're expected to be at an elite level right away, then we just say that. Fine.
My memory might be foggy on some of the draft positions of the defensive players. You lost a 2nd-round safety, a 4th-round linebacker, an undrafted free agent online, and I think when did Riley Mills go? 2nd round, 3rd round? That's a problem of Texas, Ohio State, Michigan, any major university every year. And we can't use that as an excuse. It might be a reason, right? But then those guys behind them got to get coached up and got to do better. And to your point, getting all those guys extra playing time, some of the deep rotational guys during Army is going to help that in the long run. You might not see that result this year, but now you have a deeper bench next year and the year after, and there is no retooling. It's just there ready to go. Yeah, it's just I don't. And you know what else? I've talked about this for a long time. Reasons versus excuses in the world of college football. I struggle with this. The concept of a reason for something being, but it not being an excuse. And I struggle definitionally to find like the difference there between a reason something's happening but then it not being an excuse. I always struggle with that. Oh, you're right. And Pat is right too. But historically, the standard at Notre Dame is championships. Whether that's realistic in 2025, and I know this isn't the 40s, 50s, or 60s where we win a championship every 4 years, but the standard at Notre Dame, there's a reason why the Golden Dome is gold, right? Not like whatever color the 8th place trophy should be.
Yeah. Hey, I listen, I get it. It's just, so I don't know, man. It's,
I wish, Narduzzi, I wish I had more hands so I can give him 4 thumbs down.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't like the guy. It's just his whole thing, man. I just don't like him. His whole thing.
Well, I think with Narduzzi and then with Texas Tech's coach coming out, I think that's great. That's great publicity. It's free. And I hope that more coaches throw dirt on us because it just keeps us in the headline.
Yeah, it is. But man, it is wild. Right when Notre Dame pops up and becomes a threat, then all of a sudden, out of the woodwork, they're all taking shots at Notre Dame, and it's just like, I'm sorry, man. Like, and I like it, man. I like that attention. You only get it if you matter. If Notre Dame was irrelevant, you wouldn't have that. I like it. So give it to me, and then you just keep winning. Just keep winning.
What do they say? You're living rent free in other people's heads, right? So that's good news, I think.
Yeah. What do you make of that line for Notre Dame? Does that surprise you a little bit on the road, being up by double digits?
10.5 or almost 11, right? Right now?
Yep.
That means on a neutral field, that would be a 14-point spread. You're favored by, because you get the home team usually gets
You
3.
get the 3, yeah.
That's pretty big. I think that they have a weak secondary. They have a good wide receiver core, which will be dangerous for us, but they also have a weak secondary, which we should be able to exploit. Has it become clear to you that Love is not going to be, a Heisman finalist or trophy winner?
I don't know if that spectacular play at least gets him on a list, because so far every list I've seen is all quarterbacks and there's no one that isn't a quarterback on it. I don't know what you got to do to at least invite a non-quarterback to the ceremony in New York. Give me a break. Can the guy get on a radar?
That's a shame. And hopefully, maybe he can have another USC game against Pitt, another 225 yard performance. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, I tell you, I think our guys are going to be ready. I don't care if this is in the morning, 11 o'clock my time. I don't care. Notre Dame's going to be ready. They know what's on the line. Pitt's going to be ready coming off that bye. We're going to be ready. We know what's on the line. I don't have that doubt. I think they're going to be ready to play.
Right. I agree with you, and I like what you said about the 12 o'clock game. Like, the fans aren't going to be able to party all day. It should be, get in there, get a quick win, get home to Notre Dame maybe by dinner time or late night that night. And then you can talk about the last 2 games of the year, which we should win as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'm excited about it. It's a good opportunity. And I think Notre Dame's going to be ready. They know what's on the line here. It's going to be an exciting week as the energy and momentum of this builds. And the other thing I like is this is like, you're getting game day, but this whole thing is such a key to the whole playoff. Everybody wants to see what happens. Everybody on that edge is waiting for Notre Dame to lose one of these games to open up that spot that Notre Dame's eating, that a conference team would love to move up in. Like, everybody's watching, and you better be ready.
The idea that Notre Dame is ever irrelevant is erased with the idea, or with the concept, that game day is at an away game just to watch your 2-loss team play.
Yeah.
With hopes that they might lose. So I think that's a great thing. More free publicity. Better for
man, I'm here for it. This is going to be a wild week. And listen, I think you can take some of the momentum you gained from Navy and parlay it right into this, that energy, that vibe, having fun in the snow, beating the hell out of somebody, seeing the backups get in and play well, like no penalties. You made all your kicks. There are some things you could take with you on this journey to Pitt that I think are going to help you. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good week.
I agree. Johnny, I have to run, but I did want to say, even though we've got tons of people in the chat that disagree over little things, we're all on the same wagon, right? Go Irish, and let's make it to the playoffs and make a run. We could do this.
I love it, man. Hey, thanks a lot. Have a good start to your week, buddy. We'll see you. How much time you got, buddy? Andrew Gilmore, I'm not a homer. Sorry. The only reason this channel exists and I do this for a job and my brand exists is because I wasn't a homer. Because when Brian Kelly was failing and the media was covering for him all those years, I said it isn't good enough. Somebody needs to call this out. That is the only reason that I have this business, is because I'm not a homer. So I don't know if that was directed to me, Pat, or both, but I literally would not have this job or this brand if I was a homer, because I would have went right along with all the narratives and built excuses for Kelly like the media was doing and all this stuff. So if I was that, none of this would be happening right now, and I'd be sitting at a desk at a graveyard like I used to. And the other thing is, every time when Freeman fails, he deserves to be criticized for it. You lose to the bad teams he lost to, you deserve criticism. You lose to Northern Illinois, you deserve criticism. Like, you just do. And so, I don't know, man. You're never going to make everybody happier. You're never going to make everybody happier. It is, but Anders said, the team isn't overachieving. They're right where they're supposed to be. I'm fine with that. That's a good take. But I'm just wondering how you account for like the new quarterback thing. Like, and in the summer, I remember we talked about for the playoff, you got to have an elite defense, a good O-line, and all that stuff to support that young quarterback while he learns to get you into playoff position. It hasn't exactly quite looked that way, but you find yourself in playoff position. They kind of put it together. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm serious. In 2016, I could not understand why people were covering for Kelly the way they were. That team had so much more talent than to have the record it had. It was an unbelievable miscarriage of justice what Kelly did with that team. They had way more talent than to have that bad a record. No one was properly calling it out. And that's what started all this. So if I was a homer, I would have just listened to the media and said, oh, yeah, give Kelly all the time. Don't give him a hard time about this. Now, in Kelly's defense, at least he tightened things up and did get better after that. But me not being a homer is the only reason that I have this job. C-Nep, what's going on, brother?
Yo, what's up, guys? How we doing?
Love the backdrop, man. That looks perfect.
Hey, we're chilling at the tiki bar here down in Florida, man.
Dude, that's fantastic. You don't have 8 inches of snow like I got outside.
No, we don't have the snow, but we finally got the chill in the air, man, and it feels actually like football for once. And hey, it's not football today, but enjoying the weather, man.
Man, it is. What are you feeling this week here? This is a big one. I woke up in a rare mood. I know what's on the line. You have fought back from week 2, I guess week 3, because we had the off week. You have had to fight back to get yourself in this position. Notre Dame's done a really good job of it. And I honestly feel like you have one more big hurdle to go, and it is the pain in the ass that is Narduzzi and Pitt. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
To me, it's eerily similar to last year. We were in the same position. We were on pins and needles each week. We wanted the team to win out and make it to the playoffs, and we're right in that same spot. We literally, since week 2, with how bad the defense looked at that time, nobody thought we were going to be in this spot. And that's including most Notre Dame fans. So to me, I'm just tired of like the hypocrisy, dude. Like, you got to be on the train or you got to be off the train. You can't be both. And that's what's frustrating to me with like certain people in the fan base. And I'm not calling anybody out, but it's just frustrating seeing people on the train one week, and then when things are going good, you don't see them, just like you're referring to. So it's like, man, it's where we're at, dude.
Here's where I struggle. I think Pat's right. There's a lot of things that happen that end up somewhere in the middle, but that doesn't feel good to people. Right? Like, I understand that. Like, I want it to be all the way over here, and that logically makes sense, or all the way over here with something. And like, sometimes you're in the mix somewhere in the middle, a little bit of both, or a blend, or like middle ground, but that's just like not a comfortable place to be, because then if you're in that middle, it feels like you're not picking a side, right? It feels like you're wishy-washy of like, you're not all the way over here, all the way over here. So sometimes the middle, I think, is the right place to be, but it comes off as a weak hand position. Like, you can't pick a lane and stick to it. But sometimes I feel like, so I don't know, man. I'm just glad we're in the position we're in, damn it.
Exactly. You gotta you gotta appreciate what Freeman and from this what the staff has gotten the players to accomplish these past 6 weeks, because that's college football. We've seen teams go from the highest to highs. Miami was up there. They beat us. They were rolling, and then boom, went downhill. That's what happened to them. And now they're in the conversation. They're not even in it. Well, that obviously sparked the Notre Dame against Miami. It's not our fault that we started playing better and then they started playing worse.
Yeah.
People want to blame us. That's not our fault. But we're right where we need to be. And like going back to Pitt, we got to take care of business, man. Let's play some football. We got to take this momentum that we just had against Navy and use that to our advantage. Like,
Yeah.
it's like last year, dude, going to the USC game. You know, people were super nervous with that one. We needed that one win to, secure that playoff spot. Well, that game didn't necessarily go how we thought it was. USC gave us a bit of a fight, although we ended up winning and having some crazy, pick sixes at the end of the game. We could have easily, in other years with recent coaches, could have lost that game, and then you're knocked out. So just trust the staff, trust that they're getting these players ready. The college game day, let them hype it up. That's what we want. This is Notre Dame football. And we, like the recent caller said, you would not think that college game day would have been going there at 7-2 now. So
Yeah, it's here's what I'm relieved about. It feels like you kind of got a get out of jail card, because when the first playoff rankings came out, you really didn't get dinged that much for your first two failures. Yep. And they were really, really bad and unacceptable and really out of character. And the way the defense, like, it was so far below what you expected. And it almost feels like you got to get out of jail free card and you're in the first playoff. You've got to take advantage of this opportunity in a year that started out that bad.
Right.
You're right back in position. You've got to pay this thing off. You've got to be Pitt, get this thing in the playoff. And then anything could happen. You could get hot. Anything could happen. And I want to see those two backs in the playoff and see what they can do. But like, I look at it as, man, you really did not get dinged as much as you could have for those first two games. And I need to see you take advantage of this free roll.
Oh, 100%. And credit, to Chris Ash again. I'll give him a shout out because, again, after those first two games, not only Notre Dame fans, but fans around the country was like, whoa, that is not the same defense. And it took a lot to get back to where you wanted. And it started that second half of the Purdue game. We were at that game. Me and Tyler, that was my first game at that stadium. Like, I saw the switch get flipped in front of my eyes. And I was like, okay, something's starting to click here. And we took that and then built on it. And that's why we're at where we're at.
Yeah.
And we're on that playoff hunt. So, hey,
man,
credit to the staff, credit to the players, man. This is right where we want to be, and we've got to keep taking care of business, man.
It is hard for me to think this team would have their back against the wall since the second game, fight their way all the way back through this, and lay a big fat egg in Pittsburgh with everything on the line. I do not think that outcome is likely. I saw some people, they're going to sleepwalk in there because of the early start. No, like this is not, no. This team knows damn well what is on the line. That is not going to happen. Pitt's going to be ready. So will Notre Dame. I do not have that fear about this moment because those guys know exactly what's on the line.
Yeah, no, this team's ready. This, I think, will be the most prepared all year. I think this is the game that they're going to lock in on because they know, just like you said, this is the one that you have to be laser focused. And credit to Pat's point earlier, whether it's 1 point or 20 points, get out there with the win, take care of business, college game day, just take advantage of the moment, man. And you got three more to secure that spot. Let chaos happen. It's going to happen. It already has, unfortunately, a couple games this past weekend, teams scraped by.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of big games. There's a lot of big games here in the next couple weeks that are going to shift things as well. So you got to keep winning. That's the Notre Dame That's the Notre Dame way. Keep winning.
That's it, man. This is a big one. This is exciting. I'm glad we're fought back into this position, and you gotta, I think they're going to come ready to play at Pitt. Anything else on your mind, man, about the Navy game or about anything else going on around the country? What do you think?
Really, I'm just super happy for this program and the way they've been resilient. That's like the one key word that I can think of Freeman's tenure so far. He is one resilient coach. If something goes bad, he is trying to fix it within 5 minutes. That just seems like his mentality. When he loses a game, he's going and watching film and he's figuring out what happened, why it happened. And that's why he's getting Notre Dame back into playoff contention, in my opinion.
I am going to say this, though, and I wrote about this the other day.
Mhm.
As much as we love the resiliency from these Freeman teams when something bad happens, like the last 2 years early in September, we love the resiliency of them bouncing back and going on these winning streaks. I'm with Andrew Gilmore on this. The next level of this program needs to be not needing to bounce back and be perfect with your back against the wall from when it's 90 degrees in September till there's 8 inches of snow on the ground like today. That needs to be the next level of this program. And I'm with Andrew. Raise that standard. You got to get this thing deeper into the year with a little bit of margin and leeway so you're not where you have to be perfect every year, because I got news for you. The odds of you making that work every single year are not good. You're going to have bad luck one game, bad weather, bad injury. Something's going to happen. You're not going to do it every year. That needs to be the next standard, is getting deep in the year and having margin and leeway to play with.
Totally agree. Spot on. But man, I'm excited. I'm confident in this Pittsburgh game. I think this team's really going to hold on to that momentum. They're in a great mindset with how they played too and how they performed. I mean, no penalties all game. Hasn't happened since I was born. I think it was 1996 the last time that happened. And with the refs that we've had every game, I didn't think that would ever happen, ever. But you just got to take what you're doing good and just use it as fuel, man. Especially at this point of the season, there's teams that have dropped off. There's teams that, again, highs to highs, lows to lows. It's why we love the game. It's why we love it.
Yeah, man, this is it, man. This is exciting, and it's going to be a very energizing week as we build to this, and we're going to see what we get. Hey, send my regards to the rest of the family, and why don't you jump back in later in the week when we get closer? And I love the hangout, man. I wish I was there right now instead of here.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Go Irish.
Have a good one, man. Oh, I love the people that are. What in the world? Dude, what is with, dude? I feel like my channel, I feel like they see some of the inappropriate jokes we put, and then the bots come in here with all that perverted stuff. I literally think they see all the jokes we make, and then the bots attack it with that. That's the second time Saturday night. What in the world? Ban user and delete their comments. I keep trying. What is going on? Andrew, I've been a fan of just as long as you, John. I took exception with the rebuilding nonsense. That was never true with this year. They were favored in both games to start the year. I think I keep hitting block this person and it keeps showing up. I don't know what else to do. Ban user and delete their comments. I am trying to do it. I love the perverts that are my perverts that I know they're joking and they're making comments. Not Ordegursky 67. It's a Russian bot. Dude. Ban user and delete their comments. I keep doing it. It's Pat Narduzzi. He's dropping a bomb. Cut my internet the other day. Now he's doing it. But I am literally writing. I'm hitting the button to block them and delete everything, and it isn't working. I don't know. Rodney, AJ, WPP. You guys are coming up. It keeps coming back with different numbers at the end, so it's different accounts. Well, I'm gonna keep blocking them as much as I can. I think rebuilding is a bad word. I think the rebuilding really throws people off because when you say, I get it, Andrew, when you do say rebuilding, it lowers the standard right away. When you say rebuilding, it lowers the standard right away and it opens up for excuses. So you have rebuilding, you have reloading. I think retooling is a fair way to put it. I do think retooling, when you have like a first-time starting quarterback, you're like, well, you're not entitled to any rebuilding stuff, but you're retooling. And then when you have how do you account for a first-time starting quarterback and the expectations for that guy? What do you call that? Yeah, I agree. The rebuilding isn't the right word, but what do you call it when you have a first-time starting quarterback and like what those expectations? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. I don't know the answer to that. Rodney, what's up? Good morning.
I have 2 words for you, John, that will probably fit or thread that needle. Refurbishing, because that's when you take something and you fix a couple things to make it, like it was when it was, at its peak. Or you could say rebooting, because you're rebooting, what you have. I think refurbishing probably is better in this case. But I do agree, it's hard. We just don't have a word for it. Like, it isn't rebuilding. That would be like if we lost everybody and then you have, like you said, an 8-4 year, 7-5 year, 9-3. I mean, also, John, how different? Everybody just got through giving Freeman a lot of credit, but how do we feel if we lose against Pitt in a last-second field goal that we don't make, and then there's nothing left, and so then it's a complete disaster, right? So how does it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do we go from oh man, I'm really happy to that, and then he's not on the hot seat? You know what I'm saying? Like that would be a colossal disappointment, man, if we don't make the playoffs this year after the way the team's trending right now. Yeah. Having said that, the Pitt game, it just makes me nervous, dude, because we know we're better than them. But yeah, just all the factors, the road thing, the noon game, all that. Although that I think affects Pitt as much as it does Notre Dame. You know what I mean? They don't get the benefit of the night crowd, which we've played in so many night environments. I don't think it would. I think we'd be ready for that too. So I think both teams are kind of in an. Although I guess we did play Arkansas. I don't know how many other games Pitt's played when they played at noon.
But like Rodney, I thought of that too. Of like maybe in a night game, like that changes the level because it's hyped for a night game and there's all the buildup and everything. But also, I kind of like the idea of like Pitt's like a gritty, grindy type team every time we play them. The noon thing kind of fits Pitt, man. Like, we're not waiting around all day. This is a tough city. We're just going to get after it early in the day. I actually kind of respect that. I like it in a way. I do.
Yeah, as long as they don't beat us.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so yeah, I think it's. And by the way, John, I'm going to be hopefully next couple of weeks here be able to talk to you live. It's just I'm in a horrible This is a great location to hear me, but it's a bad location for visuals, man. It's just the lighting's off. So I'm going to try and fix that. But obviously, product placement, shameless promotion. That's me and School of Rock, the show here in Indianapolis. One more weekend, everybody. Just let you know, if you're in the Indy area, School of Rock, look it up, School of Rock, Indianapolis. Anyway, John, there's just some feelings, we don't have quite enough data under Freeman yet to say this is who he is. But what we do have to go on, Freeman's teams, like I said, man, if you go from the time he started to where he's at now, okay, that's the macro. If you go a little more micro and you say, throughout the season, those teams get better. And then if you go even more micro, we never really start well, but we get better as the game goes on. Isn't that kind of Freeman's forte? So going back, and I know Pat did mention this. He actually did mention this at the end of his call today. So he already kind of addressed it. But I agree with Pat that this team right now, where they're at in this will be week 10 for them, week 11, I guess, of the season, or 12, whatever it is. But where they're at right now, I do think last year's team was, quote unquote, better. But John, does this team have a higher ceiling possibly in December? I don't think this team has reached its peak yet.
Rodney, now that's an interesting point, and something that I wrote about the other day was, if this particular version of Notre Dame finds a way to get in the playoff and could get a little healthier, does it change the threat Notre Dame is in the playoff if you could play pretty good defense and have a run game and people got to worry about you throwing the ball a little bit? What does that change? That's a different animal Notre Dame team in the playoff than what teams are used to. You may be on to something. Notre Dame would be a different threat with that kind of offense that can run it and throw it.
John, I have that's why this game is so important, man. This is that's why I am so nervous. Not so much because, Pitt's a good team. They're a solid team and they're trending. But it's more about, this is everything, man. This week is everything for this team, because I truly believe you get this Notre Dame team in the playoff, again, look, Carr goes out with a major injury and then Minchie gets hurt in practice and then you got nobody, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take those outliers aside, strange, weird things happening. Someone has a tragedy in their life and it ruins their mental focus for that. Taking all those things aside, all things being equal, I think that this Notre Dame team is going to take another step in December. That's what Freeman's teams seem to do. Once they get to December, once they're there, they get better. And so I think that this team has a chance to be a better team than last year's version. And here's why I say that, dude. Pat said, if we had last year's defense, this year's offense. I don't think this year's defense we have not seen the best of it yet. And it's getting better and better and better every week, dude. And I think because of those first two games, I think it's still kind of in our brains the way they played, even though we're giving Ash credit now and all that. I don't think that we're still really understanding how good this defense can be. I really think by the time December gets here, this defense is going to hit another level. And so that's why I'm not saying we're going to be the national title winners. I'm not saying that at all. This team is a little bit polarizing in that it could be knocked out in week one or of the playoffs if they get there, probably in a very good game, whoever that is. And it could also reach the national title game and maybe win it. That's the ceiling of this team. This team's got a higher ceiling than last year. I truly believe that.
And what you would want to see is, I think trending in November is a big deal. Some teams run out of gas and they just kind of sputter down the finish line and you see it. And other teams are peaking as the season ends, playing their best ball, having it come together, getting healthier, like whatever. I want to see this Notre Dame team peak. And if you beat Pitt, man, you're in a really good spot. It would be a really good rebound from 2 weeks that were garbage to start the year.
Well, John, and I'm also looking at, let's look at, the converse to that. Now, again, all the credit in the world to what Cignetti's brought to the Indiana Hoosiers. All the credit in the world. But, and again, they pulled out a tough win against Penn State, man. There's no question. That was a gutsy win that shows you're a team that's ready for the moment. But I do wonder, they aren't dominating the way they did a few weeks ago. Is a team like Indiana, who's a little not as quite as deep as someone like a Notre Dame or Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, so on and so forth. Is a team like that, once they get to the playoffs, are they going to kind of run out of steam and not be as great as they're looking right now? Because I agree, Cignetti's gotten every speck of talent out of that team. Not saying that's going to happen, but it's interesting. Yeah. Once you get to the playoffs, big if, because we need this game. What then happens to the teams like Notre Dame get better and better? And then teams, maybe that, don't have quite the depth. Do we see that exposed in the playoffs? And that's where it's a very different thing, man. We've only got 1 year of data to have seen this so far. How, this 16 games basically you're playing to get to and then if you're, in some cases, I guess 17, if you're in the conference, you have to win at its worst to win the national title. This is a whole new thing for college football, man. And Freeman, you can tell, man, are building his teams for the playoffs, but we got to get there. That's the thing. I think that this could be really interesting in December, but we got to get there.
Yeah, you gotta get in there, and then it's a clean slate, and you see what happens. This is going to be exciting, though, man. You fought yourself back into contention. This is, to me, the last big mountain to climb. It's going to be an intense week, and I'm kind of relieved the game's at noon. You don't have to sweat it out till 7:30 or whatever. Get that thing going. Play a hard-fought game at noon, and see who wins it with the playoff on the line, man. I'm excited about it. Anything else, Rodney? What'd you think of the Navy win?
Oh yeah, I thought the Navy. That's what I'm saying, John. I think we're trending now. I really felt like the Boston College game was not indicative of who this team is. I just think that was, one of those games, where it's like it's a rivalry game. Boston College had, they had nothing else to play for but that one. We came out a little sluggish. I think we were looking ahead a little bit. Other coaches in the past have admitted to doing the same thing when Navy week's coming. That because you have to devote some time to it. But I really felt like that was an outlier, and it was, and I think it was. And I think the Navy game. Oh, here's the other thing, man. It goes back to the defense. They have had to go so deep on their defensive line right now. That is going to play dividends in the playoffs when you get to that point, man. I mean, the fact that I'm telling you, man, Freeman's teams are built for a December run. We just have to get there. I really am interested in seeing this team take another level. So, and as far as Jeremiah Love, and I'll end it with this, he needs a great game against Pittsburgh, and then I think he could be a legitimate dude. A player can go from not really being talked a lot about for the Heisman to shooting up to the top spot with a couple guys ahead having a bad game or whatever, and then him having a great game. This Pittsburgh game is a showcase game. It's on game day. I think we all know.
Really, really good point, man. This could be a moment with everybody watching, because everybody knows Notre Dame and Pitt hold a lot of playoff cards right now. And it isn't just Pitt playing Notre Dame, but they have a string of games that could alter the playoff race. And man, what an afternoon for Jay Love to break loose a couple 60-something yard runs. I'm just throwing it out there with everybody watching in game day there. What a day for you to crack a couple 60, 70 yarders right in Narduzzi's face.
Yeah, I really do. I'll predict this, John. I do think Jeremiah Love is going to be one of the finalists, and he'll be downtown New York when they present it. But to win it, he needs a fantastic game against Pittsburgh, and whatever. Just go out and beat Pittsburgh. Shut up, Narduzzi. John's nemesis. Shut that guy up, man. Shut that guy up, guys.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Hey, Rodney, thanks for checking in, buddy. I really appreciate it. Touch base later in the week as this ramps up, okay?
All right, you got it, buddy.
Have a good one. Always good to hear from Rodney, man. Always good. Okay, we're going to go right back to your calls. I want to get caught up on a couple chats here. Bar Bouncer 71. Great show, John. Me and my grandson love listening to you after the games. Love your intro. Thanks for all the hard work. Just thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Means the world to me. Couple more chats. We'll go right back to your calls. I appreciate the Rick James, whoever changed their name into Rick James. I really appreciate it. WPP, $10 hour. This Liam guy is highly intelligent. Not so smart people in the chat should listen carefully. Oh, man. $20 hour from our resident Aggie, A&M Rick. Slick Rick. $20 hour. Good day for the Irish. Keep it up. Still looking like the possibility for rematch in the playoffs. Gig 'em Aggies. Beat the hell out of South Carolina. Love the Irish. Play my Aggies. Beat the hell out of Pitt. Rick, I really do appreciate you always being around as the enemy. And an enemy that has good things to say about Notre Dame. Not Kent sitting in here waiting to jump on everything every Notre Dame person says with the opposite. That's a lot of energy, Kent. It's honestly flattering you spend so much time here. I love the discourse. Andrew, the entire season comes down to this week. Notre Dame opens as a double-digit favorite. Texas and Oklahoma could be eliminated this week. ND has a major opportunity to host. This is a big one, you guys. I suspect when the rankings come out tomorrow, you're going to be at 9 because BYU is going to drop below you. Everybody else shifts up. I do not believe Oregon's going to be penalized for the Iowa game. Somebody asked that earlier in the chat. I do not see that happening. I think they're going to credit Oregon for going on the road in a bad weather game and beating a team that was ranked in the top 25. They're not going to ding Oregon. I've seen a bunch of people be like, can we move ahead of Oregon or whatever? I would be shocked. They were ranked. Iowa was a 2-loss team ranked. It's on the road in bad weather. Like, I genuinely think they're going to get the benefit of that. I do not expect that. Jason, come on, guys. If we're concerned about Pitt, what are we going to do in the playoffs? I struggle with this, Jason. I struggle with this because you want to go in there with confidence. The line exudes some confidence in Notre Dame, the gambling line, but you also have to have an honest respect for your opponent at the same time. So that's where I'm struggling here. You want to have confidence. You're over a double-digit favorite, but you also have to have respect for this moment and what it means for their side too, and them trying to whatever. So, like, I guess that's in the eye of the beholder. I think it would be a mistake to just take them for granted and say, oh, we're just going to blow them out. So I think you got to take them serious. Nikki Dean, Johnny loves the perverts. I like my perverts. The ones that I know what they're saying and it's funny one-liners, not Russian bot perverts or whoever the domestic terrorist is that cut my internet lines. Jerry, John, me and my son and dad are going to the Pitt game. First time getting to CND. Not sure my blood pressure and nerves can handle it. Let's go Notre Dame. I like it. Mr. Soprano is here. Refinishing, refreshing, repainting, repairing. Is this what Pat's doing to his living room? I know some high-priced consultants who pick the most perfect word. One more from Andrew. It's all about hosting in the CFP. If they could somehow host, Notre Dame has every chance to make a run again. If they're on the road, it's going to be very tough, especially if you go to the SEC. Man, can you imagine? Like, I've seen some of these matchups. One of them, I don't even remember which it was, but one of them had us matched up going to Ole Miss. Man, what a road environment that would be. Notre Dame going to Ole Miss. I got some friends down there that live within like an hour of that place. Might tempt Johnny Boy to hop in the car and go see what's cooking down there. I know I don't want to travel to Ole Miss. Yeah, that would be a wild, it'd be a wild situation. It'd be wild. AJ, what's going on? Welcome, bro.
Hey, John, did you survive the snowstorm?
I'm still here. I was just not prepared, bro. Like, I just didn't expect this amount of snow and it to be this cold this early in the year. But here we are, man. The kid gets a day off school, so good for her.
Oh, yeah. My girl still had to go to daycare, and I live here in South Bend. We got 8.5 inches. Man,
that's the real deal. So what do you make of all this? You've been sitting there, you've been listening to the debate. Do you have any takes on any of this? Where's your mind at as we start this very important week in Notre Dame land?
So first thing I want to start off with is I want to start with the Texas Tech coach with his comments after the game. Where does he get off talking about UConn that way? They beat a very good Duke team Saturday. Where does he get off?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
Come
really
on.
Good point.
What did UConn do to you?
Man, it's just so predictable that right when things get cooking in playoff time, out of the woodwork, everybody's got a shot to take it Notre Dame. It's right on brand. Just you're seeing it from all over, and you knew it was going to happen if Notre Dame was high in those first playoff rankings. All you could do is keep winning. That's the answer to all this is just keep winning, and it will piss everybody else off more. Just keep winning games. That's the answer to all of this, all of the running your mouth. Just keep winning.
I will say this is if he keeps talking this way, similar words like James Franklin, you're going to start coaching like him too when the playoffs come.
Yeah.
All the excuses in the world, like, oh, we played a very good conference scheduled game. Congrats. When you go into the playoffs and you play somebody who doesn't, talk like that, then you're going to wake up real quick. And then your fan base is going to be like, where was all that talk before?
Yeah, it's so predictable, but I love it. I love all of it. It means you matter. It means you're a threat. Everybody hates you, that you're an independent. You might steal one of those at-large spots. They want it for their conferences, and they're just mad. And so I love the position, man. Just keep winning and shut everybody up.
real talk here for a minute. The Big Ten deal that they're about to do without USC and Michigan, I am now seeing their media say maybe going independent isn't a bad idea.
Oh, yeah, interesting. And there's only a handful of teams that can make independence work if you're being honest about it. Like Michigan, Ohio State could make it work. I think Texas maybe. But like even some of the big SEC brands, I'm not even sure their reach goes far beyond like the like the Southeast. So like there's not that many teams that could make this work.
No, this is the issue that we always keep bringing back up is that if you would go independent, you would. The problem is that you don't have the leverage. You don't have the TV deals. You don't have the brand to do so, and that's why you're in the conference. That's why you're complaining, saying that why does Notre Dame get to be independent and still make the playoffs? Oh, it's a great question. Let me answer you with dollar signs and publicity and all that other stuff. And oh yeah, the level of talent that they're recruiting. You are the best school in your own conference, and your strength of schedule is in the 40s or 50s. That should tell you something.
Yeah, it's just winning is the only way to shut everybody up. Like literally, I could debate them all day on Twitter or whatever, but like winning is the way. So what do you make of this Pitt game, man? A Notre Dame over a double-digit favorite. I want to have a healthy respect for the moment, and they're coming off a bye and they're trending up and feeling good about their chances. And I understand that, but I got to believe Notre Dame knows what's on the line. This team knows what they're walking into. They know what's on the line. Notre Dame's going to be ready. I don't question it. They're going to be ready. Make big plays.
I'm not too worried because that is a very good point somebody brought up in the chat, is that if we're worried about Pitt, what are we going to do for the playoffs? That's the message that we need to hear. Yeah, Pitt's going to be ready, but I truly believe that that we have the better talent on the team and that we will prevail. And also, game day is going to be there. Like, I think that's in our favor because when Freeman goes to a playoff team, a college game day environment, especially on the road, he's not in front of the cameras. It's usually the other coaches. And what happens?
Yeah.
They like, even when game day was at Notre Dame last year for the playoffs, Freeman didn't show up and Cignetti ran his mouth and we were the better team at the end of the day. So if Pat Narduzzi wants to be in front of the cameras and talk crap, let him. It's his bed to fall on if they lose. And yeah, that's what you get. If you're going to talk crap, talk cocky, you better be ready to eat your words if you lose.
Yeah, it is. Man, it is just this time of the year is so awesome when you're in the mix because there's just so much drama, so much intrigue. Every week means so much. There's so much debate. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm just glad you're in the mix. And I know some people are like, whatever, the Navy win, keep it moving or whatever. I really think there's some momentum you could carry over from that into this game. And I think this team is feeling the moment, feeling the importance of this, that this is building to something. I felt some of that in that Navy game once Notre Dame started rolling. I think they feels like something's building here. Then again, if you lay an egg against Pitt and the year ends, I'm going to come in here and say I was dead wrong and the season's over. And maybe we'll see LSU in the Cheez-Its Bowl no one gives crap about. You got to win it.
I personally believe that this team is very, very focused. And we're also bringing back some guys that we didn't have them play for this Navy game, that they're going to be healthy to go. And that, I mean, Boubacar Traore, he didn't play, right? And Freeman was asked that question at the press conference. He said this wasn't the game for him. Yep. That is really, really smart.
Sneed didn't do a lot.
He didn't play either.
Similar thing there about
why?
His style of
because
play
you need them for this week. Yeah. You need them for this week. Well, this is a triple option Navy team, and these guys' strengths do not come in this kind of game. So if we're playing second and third strings against Navy and we still did that and we still have our best guys healthy, that is a win. I don't want to hear anybody scared about that. That is a win. That your second and third string defensive players and nobody got hurt. Navy has easily crippled us in the past by getting either our captain or someone who important to this team getting hurt. Yep. This is a win for us, guys. Huge win. And one point thing out here. Game day is coming to this game. If I do not get Mark May and Lou Holtz to be at least part of this game day,
Yeah, that's
then
good.
this
man.
is a huge missed opportunity.
You know what, man? I could tell we must be close in age that we remember the time where Mark May and Lou would go back and forth at that desk, and they were like, it's hard for younger people maybe to wrap their minds around that Lou Holtz was like the main guy on that desk on College Football Final, and him and Mark May would debate and the whole Pitt thing and the Lou thing, and Lou would get all mad with his lisp, the whole thing. It was great having our guy be up there. I love that.
I know Lou's probably in Florida right now, but come on, we've got Zoom and FaceTime and everything. They can make this work. I don't know what Mark May's doing, but you can make it work. You can make it work.
Dr. Lou was that segment, Dr. Lou, and he would do all the stuff, and then Mark May would crap on Notre Dame every day.
Like, seriously, if they do not do something with that is a very large missed opportunity. Both of them are retired. You can make this happen. Just do it. And game day's been stale ever since Lee Corso retired. Like, I know they retired the headgear thing, and I grew up with the headgear pick. That's the only reason I watch game day. The only reason. And now they retired it, which, I mean, if that's his whole thing, like, that's great. Like,
but dude, they took it too far. Once it turned into Lee Corpso, I lost total interest when they started taking advantage of that guy. When it was clear that he didn't know what was going on and they were making him do stuff, it was like, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And you know what, man? Game day gives me anxiety because it's just all this build up, and I'm already built up enough. Like, I've been trying to find ways to be productive earlier in the day because I don't need any more anxiety. But I'm going to have to watch it this week because it's all Notre Dame focused. Let's see what's up.
I'll be honest, it's been very, very stale. Like, Pat McAfee is the only guy that talks like a fan. The other guys just talk like Nick Saban talks like Nick Saban. He talks like a coach, and the other guys just talk like, reporters. So it's been very, very stale. There's not a guy that represents the fan bases as a whole anymore.
Yeah. I want to know who in the Always Irish Nation is going to go to game day. Get an Always Irish sign up there on TV. Get up in the front row and get that Always Irish out there. That's what I want to happen. I'm going to try and market this thing.
What you should do instead of a sign is sell your flag. The flag is a lot easier to be shown on camera than the signs.
Yeah, I've tried to do it before. It's hard to get people in position to get that thing. It's really, really hard. Adam Dowling, Always Irish, secretly loves game day. I do not, unless I could get some free national promo off if I have my brand on ESPN. Then I like it, but that's very selfish.
I mean, as long as you don't have a QR code or anything, I think they will let it fly. But no, like, if it's a local business or anything, they're very strict on that. The security on that is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize they were that strict on that. But Always Irish kind of could blend in as just like, go Irish. They're not going to know.
Right. That's why I suggested the flag, because no one's going to, you're basically just promoting yourself. You're not promoting like a big chain or a bank or anything else like that. I had a cousin who went to multiple Notre Dame games, and he would hold up a sign for the bank or the credit union. Sorry. And then one day the security's like, you're going to have to go. You have to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for touching base. I like your setup down there. You look like you're doing air traffic control, bro.
Well, that's just my headset. It's the only thing I have. I don't have an expensive mic or anything.
No, that works perfect. And it's hands-free, baby. I like it.
Oh yeah, but no, I'm not too worried because, like I said, the way I think this game's going to go is Freeman is not going to, have no attention or give any attention to the cameras during the day. I think he's going to be with his team the whole day, and he's going to be like, "Listen, guys, this is our last challenge. If they beat us on that field, that just proves that none of you are ready. And do you want that to be the message the rest of the year? We weren't ready."
Yeah, really, really good point by you, man. It is time for this team to step up and claim this win.
This game is also big for CJ because this is the game right here that decides if he is the true quarterback we all say he is.
And A little early scouting. Tim Hyde on our Patreon team looked ahead at Pitt and did some of that research. And he's saying Pitt could be thrown on. That is his early takeaway looking at their film is in our group chat, he's saying CJ's going to have opportunities. Pitt could be thrown on. And if they're going to sell out, stop the run, it's got to be another moment for CJ Carr and Fields and Pauling and Faison in that pass game.
Right. There's two factors to this game. You get CJ's got to be on point. He's got to be damn near perfect. But the more important thing, don't let this game be close, because if this game gets close, the refs will lose us this game.
Yeah, it is. You got to get up by enough that they cannot take it from you with one call here or there. You've got to build that margin. Andrew Gilmore, I agree with Tim Hyde. Pitt's going to load the box. You need a 300-yard game from Carr. Hey, he should be feeling pretty good coming off the Navy performance, opening it up, airing it out a little bit. They're going to try and stop the run, and then you're going to have opportunities.
I do have one more thing to point out before I go. Where are IU fans getting all upset about their board of trustee being at the Notre Dame game this weekend?
Interesting. I missed
their board of trustee was she took a picture of herself at the Notre Dame game, at the Notre Dame Navy game, because her husband is a Notre Dame fan, and they got all whiny about it. Get off your high horse for a minute, which, by the way, is probably a pony because you guys have sucked for 70 years. And you just get pissed because, she was at a Notre Dame game for her husband. What are you doing? What are you seriously doing? Who cares? Yeah. We're not rivals. You mean nothing to us. And you don't mean anything to us either. Like, come on. If she wants to be at the game, let her. It's not like she's going to a Purdue game or she's going to a Michigan game. She went to a Notre Dame game that we never see you until the playoffs. Why are you getting mad about that?
The Indiana thing is uniquely frustrating because it just feels like it's just a basketball school forever, no good at football. Then they show up lately and they act like they've been there the whole time. And it's kind of frustrating. But let's be honest, we've been there the whole time and haven't won anything too. So but it's all so frustrating. I'm glad you beat them last year. And then we'll see what happens this year. I don't know. Give them credit. They keep winning games.
I'll give them credit, but I'm not going to give their fans any passes, though, because seriously, just like the Detroit Lions, you guys need to be humble as you can be. God gave you a heck of a coach and is giving you a great year, and you're doing that. Eat some humble pie, literally.
Yeah, it is whatever. We're going to see. We're going to find out. I want to see an Indiana-Ohio State Big Ten matchup. I want to see that test and really figure out where Indiana lines up against a program like Ohio State. I'm excited for that. I want to see it.
I am telling you that when IU has to play in the playoffs, if everyone's going to call them frauds again, don't matter what the scoreboard is. If they lose, because Cignetti's this year, his mouth has been running more than it was last year.
Yeah.
He will get those words coming back.
Yeah, it's we're gonna wait. We're gonna find out, brother. Hey, really, that's a good energetic call here to start the Monday. Thanks a lot, man. Join again. Really good stuff every time. And I like that headset.
Thanks, John. Have a great day.
Have a good one, man. That dude's directing air traffic from his basement. And I love it. That's good stuff. My main man and then WPP. What's up, main man?
What's up, John? Can you hear me? You got me? All right, hold on one second. Hold on. You want to see my face? Hey. So real quick, man. Check this out. I agree with Andrew as far as not a rebuilding year. Rodney said it best, a refurbishing year. Because the ceiling that was set for this team, they finally reached it, right? They finally reached it. But we were expecting that team to be there for games 1 and 2. Now let's just say that. Let's just throw this out there. If Texas A&M would have laid an egg the same way they did last year, okay, or if Miami would have laid an egg the same way they're laying this year, the way they did last year, then what you would have said, Kent and Andrew. Like I said, Andrew, I got your back. I love you, bro. I know you. I mean, we differ on things. Then what people been saying? Oh, it's a mid-level ACC team, and if it's a mid-level SEC team, come on, man. Like John, I'm right on that, bro. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, disagree with me, guys, if you want, but it's the truth, bro. Like, Mike Elko had a rebuild, took a few years, but he's there. We always knew what type of coach Mike Elko was, and man, congratulations to him. And I could care less for the dog shit SEC, and their 3 junior high playing teams a year and how they schedule out things. And one thing that I'll tell, as I can, one thing I don't like going through the numbers. Like I said, I'm more of a just get in there, get your hands dirty, and make it happen, right? But okay, USC doesn't play Ohio State, Indiana, or Indiana. Okay, they only play Michigan and Oregon. Oregon only plays Indiana, and USC. Indiana doesn't play Michigan or Ohio State. They only played Oregon. They don't play USC. Hey, bro, and you can't tell me that the schedule's been there for 5-10 years. Bullshit, okay? You can't. Your bigot ass Big Ten commissioner made it that way so you guys have more people in the playoff or whatnot. It's the truth. They rigged it just the way the SEC would always rig it when they only had 12 teams and you had LSU, Georgia, and Alabama all 10 wins, and that was mathematically impossible if you played all your teams. So they did with the realignment the last 2 years. They did all that shit on purpose because you know what? Indiana, like I said, I dislike Signetti. I dislike a wannabe tough guy, bro. I do. I dislike wannabe tough guys, man. I can't stand them. To me, they're pretenders. Just like I told you further, just like that block right there, Johnny. Just like that, man. Just like that. Just like that 12-inch block that thinks it's a pretender.
That's
You know what I'm
coming
saying?
out of the old paycheck at the end of the week.
Man, dude, I dislike that shit, Johnny, because bro, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be too heated, but it's just, man, like, you guys' arguments are always washed, man, against Notre Dame. True, I don't disagree with you that we should never have rebuilding seasons. No, it's Notre Dame. Dude, you have the biggest funnel of schools, feeder schools going into your program all across the country. We do have an advantage. That I don't disagree with them on that. But don't sit and act like you're a tough guy, man. When you don't leave your block yard, homie, you're just a pretender. And when it's rigged for you, and you know how to choose your fights. If you're a tough guy, take on every mother effer in the block yard, homie. Take them.
Yeah.
But you're not. Okay, so dude, there's a little bit of math for you, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. That's what the Big Ten
Watch your profanity.
has to where he has his players. To where he's gonna have 10, 14 and thing. You know what I mean? And the SEC doing the same thing. Hey, and last I checked, man, Nick Saban, the GOAT, he came after Tommy Rees, right? He came after Tommy Rees. Why is the SEC always coming after us, bro? That last I checked. You know what I mean? So, hey, John, man. But I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. As far as the team and Navy, great performance, man. I think it was a good performance to take on a team that's just straight up running, just in case we do run into some big hogs like Georgia or like any other running team in the playoffs. But I think Freeman knows what to do as a coach, and as far as taking care of what's in front of him right now, like I've said before, what's in front of him right now, and hey, Navy, Pitt, Stanford, Syracuse, because we all know on any given Saturday, any team can be upset, and that's the truth, man. That's the truth, because but if it happens in the SEC, right? Like if Vanderbilt was still 1-7, and they happen to magically upset Alabama trash, oh yeah, because the SEC, and you never know what happens, right? And it's such bull. But if it's Notre Dame and NIU for the next 5 years, we're gonna be hearing from people, man. But hey, Johnny. You know what, man? I love you. I didn't mean to be. Look, that's Utah, man. We got the rough, rugged red cliffs, bro, and we got the desert Rocky Mountains.
Yeah,
Hey, I love you guys, John. I do.
You got that blue sky.
Chat's been great, man. Be safe out there, John. Okay. Great calls, great show. Hey, Kent, Andrew, love you guys. I do. Just had to throw that out there, though. Okay, John, have a good one,
Have
buddy.
a good one, buddy. Man, I appreciate the hell out of people that are hardworking and they still call in. And WPP coming up. Andrew Gilmore. Did you guys see the throws by Mendoza and Dante? A lot of discussion in the Patreon chat about the running quarterbacks. I would take a legit passer. Unbelievable. Some of the throws both of those guys made late in those ball games. Absolutely unbelievable throws by both of them in the exact only spot that you could put it and make it work. Just absolutely unbelievable throws down the stretch for both of those guys. Like as clutch could be. Like, man, it was really, really impressive. But this Penn State thing, you guys, I'm convinced they're just born to lose. It doesn't matter what position they seem to get in. When they have a chance to do something big, they just totally crumble. It's wild. And like, you got to give the other teams credit for making plays. But there's something, I don't know if it's the Sandusky curse or what, but it genuinely feels like they are getting punished for a reason. It's just like you would almost have rather lost that game by 2 scores and not worried about it than get all built up for nothing when you're playing for nothing already. So, man, that is just tough. WPP, welcome to the show.
Hey, John, it's Pat from West Palm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
No, pretty good, John. Pretty good. Lively discussion today.
It's pretty good for a Monday, man. I like the energy, and the numbers are up for a Monday. We got up to 225 live. That's good for a Monday morning. A lot of energy.
Yeah. I think, one of the things I want to mention is I think Texas Tech is for real. I think they're a very good team. That's going to be a Final Four team in my book.
Ooh, you got them going all the way, making the playoff and running it all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, I do, because in part, they bought themselves a dominant defensive line in the portal.
Yep.
And if anybody remembers the Northern Illinois game last year, there was a defensive tackle on Northern Illinois that was throwing around our offensive linemen. Really just broke up our whole game. And that kid's on Texas Tech. And he's not even their best defensive lineman.
Do you remember all the hype, WPP? I remember that portal cycle. They were talking about all the money that team was going to spend to be competitive this year. And they were going to spare no expense. They were going to go pay for these guys, and they had the money to do it. And I give them credit for following through with it. They loaded up in the portal on some really good difference makers, and they're making it pay off. That's the way you do it. And the people that put the money up have got to be pretty pleased with the return they're getting.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're like Miami. They're trying to showcase themselves as a program so that either the Big Ten or the SEC will take them in 2 years when the ACC and the Big 12 are gone.
Oh, it's interesting, WPP, that you're playing this through on a long game. That's very interesting. I did not think of that angle. You're a step ahead.
Well, John, the oil men are businessmen. They're not like the priests running Notre Dame. You understand?
Yeah.
They think ahead. They're always 2 steps ahead. And so some of these programs are dumping a lot of money into this season and next season because there is no tomorrow. You don't want to be left out of these mega conferences or to be treated as a second-class citizen in those conferences. And so you got to have a good year this year or next year. Otherwise, it's all over with. Anyway, the reason I don't have a lot to add, you've had a long call, but I did notice in the Patreon chat, and I hope people were kidding. I was sick on Saturday. I had a stomach virus. It's not really important why. So I was kind of in and out of the game, but I caught the last 10 minutes of the game. In the last 2 minutes, to his credit, Marcus Freeman, I think, took to heart, what I said last year when he tried to run up the score on Stanford. And he took a knee this past Saturday against Navy. And I saw people in the chat cheering for us to try to punch a touchdown in. And I'm saying to myself, I hope these people were joking. I hope that's a joke. Do people really want us to score another touchdown on Navy, the Naval Academy. That's how we show respect for service members. I'm assuming it was a joke. I don't know what your take on it was, John, but I'm assuming that was a joke.
Yeah, probably. I just think people were in a euphoric mood and probably taking some liberties there while they were in a good mood that we were winning by a lot. Pat, I was just glad we were in the position to be able to make that decision late in the game. I was just glad we were winning by a lot, man.
Yeah, well, my take on Navy is Navy's, slowly but surely getting weaker and weaker as a program, as a football program, because, they can't pay NIL. There's federal statutes against that. And so, they're just not going to be able to compete over the long term. Now, what they have going for them is, I think once you enter your junior year, you're not allowed to transfer out of Navy. You're a federal employee, and you're not going any. Uncle Sam kind of owns you.
Interesting.
So that balances things out a little bit, maybe. So like the Alohi Gilman's, we got after his sophomore year. If he had stayed till his junior year, he wouldn't have been allowed to transfer. But anyway, so Navy, Navy's neither good nor bad. They're just Navy. They're the same team every year. It just depends on when we play them. If we play them in the beginning of the year, we beat them by 50. Nobody thinks about Navy again. We play them at the end of the year, and Navy beats up on some junky teams in the intervening couple months. People think Navy's a good team. Navy's just the same team every year, and they really can't compete. And speaking of not competing, I don't think the ACC as a conference can compete anymore, other than Miami, which I do think is a very good team and has a very good starting lineup. Miami just doesn't have depth. But the ACC as a conference is depleted. Pitt is, we'll beat them by 4 touchdowns on Saturday, and we'll club.
Ooh, so you got
Stanford
the spread is what, 11 and a half or whatever. So you have that confidence that they are being inflated because of the low quality of the ACC overall, or what's your take on Pitt specifically?
I think the ACC stinks.
Yeah.
I think that, weak teams like Florida State put up 30 on Pitt. And that's not a good team. This is not a good team. John, our schedule is an embarrassment. Our schedule is an embarrassment. And that's on Swarbrick, but it won't cost us. Playing weak schedules has never cost anybody, really. So, no, we'll beat the hell out of all these teams in the next few weeks. We'll make the playoffs. We'll probably even host a game.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna lose. You're not gonna lose to Syracuse. You're not gonna lose to Stanford. I think Pitt is the next big test, and then you see whether you can move up to an 8 and host, or if you're gonna have to go on a difficult road trip.
Yeah, my guess is we'll obviously I think we're going to win out, but my guess is we host a game. We'll be like 7 or 8 at the end of the year. But anyway, John, thanks for taking my click, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, thanks for taking my link. Hey, I'm glad you're feeling better, brother. I was feeling real bad Saturday night too. I'm just glad we got the win, at least if we were gonna feel sick.
I hear that. All right, man, be good.
Yep, I'll see you on the chat, buddy. We'll see. His stomach started aching as soon as we got up 28 points. I gotta tell you guys. Find me another college football show with the vast diversity of personalities and opinions of this one, man. Andrew Gilmore. Pitt's legit, though. They've crushed everybody since QB change. Their OC's good. Yeah, they made the QB change. They're trending up. They got a lot of stuff going for them, man. Mark, thanks for sharing that. I really... Oh, man, I'm telling you what, man, there is never you cannot find a chat on in the college football landscape like this one. Last caller of the day, Quentin, what's up? Are you on the treadmill getting your steps in or what?
I'm on the goal right now, John. And I've been listening to most of the show, and I think it's been awesome. I love watching you, and it's been great. I think my opinion, Notre Dame will keep their intensity up and confidence up against Pittsburgh, and they're not going to take them easy. And I'm hoping that they play the same way that they did against Navy, and they fight the floor with them. So that's what I want to happen, for them to kick Navy's butts and move on and win. And there's no doubt about it that they're going to win against Syracuse and Stanford. They're going to kick their butt. And it's been a great season for Notre Dame. And they played incredible against Navy, and I'm hoping that they play amazing against Pittsburgh, too.
I sure hope so, man. You got to keep up the momentum. Keep up
That's
that
a good
momentum.
season.
Bro, I did not mean to do that, Quentin. Your audio and video's cutting out, both of them. Sometimes the audio, sometimes the video. Call back when you're not doing the exercise. Something. All right, you guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to go shovel the snow. Dude, I'll send Pat a picture. He doesn't believe it. It was all overnight. Pat's like, I drove through your area yesterday. There was nothing yet because it was all at night. Ton of snow. The dog's got to go out. It's going to be over her head. I'm not exaggerating, Pat. I'm going to send you a picture. Listen, this was a really juicy show today. I really enjoyed this. This was juicy. A lot of interest, a lot of engagement, a lot of opinions. This is a really, really strong start to the week. And I love this. Yeah, snow shoveling, the leading cause of heart attacks. I did know that, man. You got to be careful out there. Stroke out in the driveway, bro. Not even on the air. What a shame. All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for donating. Thanks for calling. We'll see you on Monday Night Raw. And this is the start of an exciting week. Thanks for being a part of it.